Hi everyone, my name is Hannah and I'm the Assistive Technology Technician at NCAD. This is just a tutorial video to show you how to download, install and use Zotero, which is a free citation and referencing capturing software. So I'll get started by just going into our Google Chrome, because that's where we're going to be searching, as our Zotero connector has to be done through Google as well. So we'll just type in Zotero, download, perfect. Now I'm working off a Dell laptop, so I will be downloading off Windows. If you had a Mac, you'd be downloading off Zotero for Mac. So we'll just see here that it's downloading in the corner here, so we'll just give that a few seconds before we double click on it. So that's ready to go. So double click on that now. Just takes a few seconds to open up, and now it's extracting. So just click out of that. I don't know what that is, so we'll just let that upload. If you have a computer that has a password on it, you will have to type in your password to confirm that you're allowing this download, which is what I did there. And now we'll just say next. Great. Now Zotero is installing. So after this, we're going to then install the Chrome connector for Zotero. Okay, perfect. We'll just say finish. And then now we have our Zotero library. Now I have information in my library already because I've used Zotero before, but I just wanted to show you how to download it from the beginning. So I'll just click out of this now and I'll show you exactly where that lives. So we'll just click out of this, and Zotero now is an icon on our laptop desktop. So in here we double click and that's where our library of our books that we've stored and captured stay. So you can see that for different essays you would have different folders, and then when you click into them you then have, so in the Howard Hodgkin one, these are all the books that I stored for that, and when I click on here all the information that is needed for that book is then captured and kept there. So it's really great, but it's not just great for your theses and your essays, it's also great for your studio practice at NCAD. So, you know, if a tutor has mentioned a book that could be interesting to you, your peers mentioned something like that, you come across a book that is important to your practice, type it in your browser, store it in your Zotero, because it's so easy to write on a piece of paper and you forget about it, but then you start to have this catalogue of, you know, information for yourself that's backing up your theses, your essays, but also your practice. So if you wanted to make a new folder here for, say, studio, we'll just click on this little folder here with the plus sign in yellow, and then I'll say studio info or research, studio research. I'll say 2020. So now I have this little folder here. It's blanket for me. And then I could have another folder at the same time that I could be working on an essay at the same time, and I'll say art in contemporary world. And then we'll save that. So I've got two things that are going on at the same time now, so if I come across different things I can pop it in, and if I'm actively looking I know that this is the folder that needs to be for my essay and this is for my research, because it's nice to just keep it separate so you're not getting confused. Now, so we have to go back and we have to set up our Chrome connector for Zotero. So it's as simple as just clicking on install Chrome connector. And what I'd also really highly recommend is going over to the NCAD library if you haven't already familiarise yourself with it. I'm sure you have, but if you haven't, just go and speak to the NCAD library staff, because they're amazing and you've just got such an array of different supports there with Art Store, Canopy, just the library, the journals, everything, you know. So we'll just add to Chrome. So make sure you're familiar with that. So we'll just say add extension. So now we have our connector extension here. So this little piece of paper is our Zotero for our browser. Now that changes to a little yellow folder as well when Zotero recognizes that this is like an academic writing and there's references or citations that are available. So what I'll do is to show that is I'll click in and I'll type in NCAD library. And I'm going to go to the catalog. I'm just going to type in textures and search. So you can see here as I scroll down, when I've typed in textures, loads of things come up. There's loads of different books here. And my yellow folder has turned yellow instead of a piece of paper. So there's stuff here that I can use as citations and references. So I'm just going to click on that. And now it's offering me all the books that have textures written in it or are relevant. So you can scroll down, surface textures, finishes and materials. Yeah, I'll go for that one. There's also, it's a good way of like books that you haven't realized that are there, just to come across them, but also you can be looking specifically for specific books. So I'll do that book as well, and I think rediscovering colors, yeah, so in textiles. So they're the ones that I'm going to select. So I'll say okay, and now it's going to ask me which book is it going to go into. And I'm actually going to put it into my, I'm going to put it into my studio research. And then I'm going to say done. So that's how simple it is. And you're picking your folder. It's asking you which folder to go into. So that everything's nice and neat. And that can go for any academic searches online, any interviews that you wanted. It's the same capturing kind of the information. So it's really easy to use. So now we're going to go back to our Zotero folder and see what was captured there. So we're going to go back to our Zotero icon. We're going to click into it. I'm just going to move this over so you can see. And we can see now in our studio research, those 3 books have been stored and captured. And then all the information of each one is there. So for each one. So now we've got that done, we now know that we have our folder here that lives in the icon here. That's our online or our desktop library. That's where all our captured information goes to. We also know that the Zotero is also in our browser as a little yellow folder or a piece of paper. And then now for the final place that we're going to place it is, it's going to be in your Google Docs, because in NCAD, that's where students kind of do their essays, they get their slides from lecturers, and briefs and stuff, so it's all kind of kept in our Google kind of forum. So we're going to have it that in the Zotero, or in your Google Docs, that Zotero will be there and installed, and that when you've written your essay, you're then just tipping on add citation or add bibliography, and then it's going to be inputted into your essay. So it's really great. So we're just going to now click out of that. So we're now going to go to our drive. We're going to go to Docs, and then we're going to go to blank document. Now, when we're in our document here, you can see Zotero is there. So to kind of get it up and running, we're going to click on Zotero, and we're going to add citation. Now, this is what it's going to do for the first time. It's going to want to ask you what account are you going to sync it up to. I want to sync it up to my assistive technology account at Staff NCAD, but you will want to link it up to your NCAD student account so everything is kept neat and tidy. So I'm going to double click on that. And now that's done. So you're linked up to that that Gmail account. So now we're going to actually just click out, just to make it a little bit smaller, and then we can move it around. Because sometimes when you're setting it up, it can kind of go behind your browser. So when we've set that up to our Gmail account for NCAD student, it then is asking us here to set it to whatever kind of referencing citation that we wanted to. Now NCAD is with Harvard, so that's what we're going to select. So Harvard here, and we're going to say OK. And then you're going to have this little search bar here. So we're going to do our first citation now, and we're going to select Zotero, and we're going to say add citation. Now, again, like I said before, the search bar can actually hide behind the browser. So that is the search bar for our book here. So we're going to type in, now this is going to our on our desktop Zotero library that we've captured. So I'm going to maybe type in paintings. So there was a folder I had on paintings. So I've done my essay on painting and I want to comment on Howard Hodgkins. So I'm going to use a reference and then I'm going to collect that. So enter. And that's now captured and inputted my reference for Howard Hodgkins. I'm going to maybe add another citation. And I'm going to put in maybe another a painting book that I was looking up. And I'm just going to type in painting again. So it's going to go to my painting folder. And yeah, I liked preparation of painting, the purpose of materials. So I've talked about like different techniques and stuff in my essay, and now I'm going to back it up with my reference. So I'm just selecting painting, typing that into the search bar, and then pressing enter. So this would be in amongst my essay, and I'm backing up my essay with references. Now imagine you've done your essay and you've got several more other references. And we're going to now ask Zotero for the bibliography section. So we're going to click on Zotero and we're going to say add bibliography. So now it's collecting all the bibliography information of those two references that I put in. So any references that you put in, it will also have the bibliography. So it takes up it does save a lot of time at the end of your essay when you're finalizing things and you don't want to leave the referencing not to be up to the standards that it should be. So there's the bibliography, and then you would just manually input if in either ones for the pages or whatever that you needed to. So that's the three kind of places where Zotero lives. Just to go over it again, Zotero is on your desktop in your library, where you store and capture, where your stored and captured information goes to, and you have it sectioned into different folders. You have Zotero in your search bar in Chrome as a piece of paper or a yellow folder, and you also have Zotero where you then input the captured information through clicking on Zotero, adding citation, and adding bibliography. So it's a really great tool. It's free. And I'm available for any students to come in if they need to go over setting it up or how to use it and work it. So feel free to pop into learning support if you have any issues with using it, and I hope that was helpful. Okay, take care, bye bye.